When I asked my team if they would help me collaborate on an article about what their favorite pieces in our collection and why, I had no idea that I would be the last one to respond. And it wasn't for procrastinating that I was the last one, but it really struck a chord with me about how special every single piece in our collection is, and also made me think about how lucky I am to be the one to help pick everything. For me, it's so much more than jewelry and so much more than business. It is truly about personal style, which for me is very intentional. So having to pick one or two or three pieces really made me get excited, but at the same time it made me feel like, oh my gosh, you're asking me to pick one of my babies. But without further ado, there are so many pieces in the collection that I love, and I have my reasons for why I love them the most, and they are for sure a reflection of my personal style. The first piece that I would choose is one of the Signer Panther bracelets. These iconic bracelets remind me of the fabulous pieces that have been commissioned by royalty as part of the Duchess collection from the British monarchy, and they were the prized possession of several members of the royal family. And throughout the years, there have been many companies, David Webb, Kenneth J. Lane, Signer, who have all taken inspiration from them. But to me, they're really fierce, and they're powerful, and they're a bit mysterious. And it's funny because if you would have asked me 20 years ago if I would have picked something like that, I was far more minimalistic. But I feel really good about myself when I wear those bracelets, and I get an endless amount of compliments on them whenever I wear the ones that are in my personal collection. So I feel extremely lucky to have the other ones on our site for that exact reason, because I would love for you to be able to find your spirit animal and be able to own one of those pieces for yourself. But they are a part of my regular style collection, and in addition to being part of my regular style collection, I even mix them with even other pieces. So they're great layering bracelets, and I love that they're in a gold and a black and a white finish, so you can certainly mix them with all kinds of things. In fact, I've even worn them with animal print cardigans, as well as animal print skirts from J. Crew. So they're very flexible, very easy to wear, and they look great in winter. And in the summer, they still don't look too heavy either. So especially if you only wear one and then like a bold ring. Which leads me to my second favorite. I am obsessed with rings, and rings are actually, we talked about a little bit last week about rings being our most popular items. And you know, to me, that is a sign that we are doing something right, and that we are giving what our customers and our clients need. And so I also naturally gravitate towards rings too, and referencing our article last week about rings, I think that rings are fun because you can appreciate them yourself. You know, I spend so much of my time looking at my hands while I'm working, and as much as I do love bracelets, sometimes they can be a little clunky when you're working and typing away on the computer, or you're working with your hands a lot like I do. But rings are something that you can stare down and look at. And for me, the bigger, the better. I love big, chunky rings, especially ones that are in oval shape, because my fingers are short. And if you wear a ring that's an oval shape with an oblong design, it will make your fingers appear to be longer and more elegant. And I really like that a lot. Lastly, my other favorite piece is the YSL Diconic glass necklace. It's rare, and the way that the glass is on top of the silver settings, it's hard to believe that it was like from the late 70s, early 80s era, but it has a very modern, sort of galactal feeling to it. But when I look at the glass itself, I gravitate towards pieces that remind me of art. And when I look at it, I see Van Gogh's Starry Night. I see all of the mystery and the enchantment that goes along with the evening and looking into the twilight and being hopeful and seeing all the little tiny stars and specks of light even in the darkness. And so for me, when I see that piece, it is elegant and sophisticated and distinctive, and for sure it's something that's so easy to wear with just a white V-neck t-shirt, but when you put it on, like, nobody else is going to have anything like that. Like, it's a really, truly special piece. Nobody else, you're going to walk into a room and receive endless compliments when you wear it. And if you have blue eyes or blue-green eyes, like I do, when you wear a piece like that, it's really going to compliment your eyes, and it's really going to make things pop. So, that being said, I can't really believe that it took me that long to think about my 3 favorite pieces. I have to be honest, with thousands of pieces, they're all my favorites. I feel so lucky that I get to be so intentional with what we take into our collection. And for me, it really is about purposeful style and intentional style, which doesn't mean that it has to be stuffy or calculated, but I really do take everything in with a purpose. I feel lucky to have rescued all these things, and rescue really isn't even the right word, but in some cases, we have taken things into our collection in a way of being able to preserve them so that they don't just wind up being disposed of. I mean, they bring a lot of people a lot of joy and a lot of sparkle and distinction, which is the whole meaning and mantra behind Vintage Meet Modern, is, to help you find your inner sparkle so that you will really shine in your personal style. And so I really love the fact that we have thousands of pieces, and that even the reflections as I read through what the other women who I work with on a daily basis would choose, I feel pretty lucky that we have so many pieces that are a reflection of everybody's personal style, since that's 100% individual and unique. So I know that I've probably said more than I probably need to say, but those are by far my top 3 favorite pieces currently. But you should check back with me frequently, because it sort of depends on my mood. It seems like every time we get something in, it is my new favorite piece. So I hope that this is helpful, and please look through our collection and tell me what your favorite piece is and why. And try to push your boundaries a little bit, because so often I hear women say to me, oh, I would never wear that. And then when I get to work with them, or I get to bring things to their home, or they come to meet me for an event and I pull out a tray, they always gravitate towards a piece that they wouldn't normally wear, and then it winds up becoming their signature piece, which is what it's all about. So I hope this helps, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all soon.